So this is Leo. You can see he is super excited to the show. We're going to turn him around right here. Doug, you need to get out of the way, please. Come on. Move. You're in the water. Move it. Are you Doug? This is difficult when they all look the same. You can go back. Go ahead. I'll find somebody else. It's difficult when you have two that look exactly the same, except one hates you and one doesn't. Target. I thought I had Carl because he hissed, and then I thought I had Leo, but he also hissed, so I put it back. They just don't like me. So this is Target. She was found in a Target parking lot under somebody's Escalade, which is how she got her name. When she goes out, we call her Target. Fancy. All right. Ooh, Target's about 7 feet and weighs about 180 pounds. She's a chunky girl. All right. Okay. Did everybody see? All right, perfect. So, if we want to cooperate, good girl. Okay. If we look inside of their mouth, there are 80 teeth. 40 on the top, 40 on the bottom. Alligators can break off and regrow their teeth. They can cycle through about 3,000 teeth in their lifetime. That comes in handy when you think about how hard they can bite down. An adult alligator can bite down with about 2,000 pounds of pressure. You guys don't look very impressed by that. You're on the wrong side of the fence. 2,000 pounds is enough to break any bone in the human body. It is also 3 times the jaw strength of a great white shark. These guys have the strongest jaw power out of any animal in the animal kingdom. Even though they can bite down so hard, I can actually hold their jaws shut with my hands. That's because the power to open their jaws is very small, whereas the power to close them is all in this fat on their neck. These are solid muscle used to close their mouth. It's not fat they're saving for the winter. So all of these alligators are in here as nuisance alligators. Some of you guys, where you live, you might have nuisance bears or nuisance moose, I don't know. Nuisance alligators are actually very common in Florida. It actually just means they wound up in somebody's swimming pool, backyard, or they maybe tried to eat somebody's dog. It does happen, they do eat people's dogs. Once that happens, they send a trapper to capture and kill the dog, unless it was a Chihuahua, then they just let him go and eat more of those things. Lots of bad jokes. But it is very sad. The state of Florida kills about 10,000 alligators a year. It's not their fault. It's usually a nuisance person. Somebody was feeding them. Once that happens, they learn to associate you with food. If you come back without food, you are the food. Never feed an alligator. What we do is we go out and we rescue them. We bring them back here, and we do work with 5 other parks where they can go and spend the rest of their lives. And you appreciate that, don't you, Target? Yes. She does. We actually use the tip jars around the enclosure to run our rescue, saving their lives. We are all volunteers here. I will let that sink in for a second. We do not make an hourly pay. Everything we make comes from the tip jars, and we have to split it with the alligators in order to keep the rescue going. Have you guys ever seen our show on Animal Planet called Gator Boys? Yeah. A couple of you, okay. It is on Animal Planet as well as Netflix. Like the sign says behind me, we are an alligator rescue. If you watch on the show, you will see how we do rescue these guys. Please be a good girl. Don't start. Good girl, okay. Alright, so, alligator wrestling. It's not like wrestling you guys see on TV. I don't hurt, headlock, or body slam them. I do not wear tights or spandex. That's the night show. Alligator wrestling is a technique used by the Seminole tribe of Florida to capture an alligator and bring it back to their camp alive. And the way they would do this is they would hold the jaws shut between their chin and their chests, leaving their hands free to tie a rope around the jaws. I'm going to demonstrate that for you. Have your cameras ready. All right, hold her up like this. Woo. And then take out a rope, tie it up around the jaws, cotton-tied alligator. At this point, people usually do this. Thank you guys. I'd hate to be the first person to figure out how to do that. So another question we get, why aren't they all trying to attack me? You asked earlier if I'm in any danger. When they first come in from the wild, they are very aggressive because they're very, very scared, which is why I had to put that other one back. They think that we're going to hurt them, so they try to defend themselves out of fear. Once they realize that we're doing an animal-friendly show, they don't get hurt, they have girlfriends, and they get fed. They calm down. That does not mean that they are tame or trained. You always have to remember that they are dangerous animals. One of them, he's in the water right over there in the corner, actually bit our boss right in the head on national TV. It's my favorite alligator. If you guys watch the show, you can actually see it bites him right in the head. That big one also did. So, like I said, they are not tame or trained. They're just very lazy. They're ambush predators. All right, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about his anatomy. If you look at her eyes, when I touch it, you'll see something flick across. You guys see that? You guys can see it over there? So that's their third eyelid. It's called a nictitating membrane. It comes up when they go underwater. It's kind of like goggles. If you look at the back of her neck, these big bumps and ridges all the way down their backs, those are solid bone plates. They're used to protect them against other alligators. They can actually ricochet a small caliber bullet as well. They're called osteoderms. It means bone skin in Latin. They can seal off their nostrils and these cute little ear flaps. They can seal those off as well when they don't want to hear us talking and when they go underwater. They can also seal off the back of their throat. Even though these guys live in the water, they cannot breathe underwater, but they can hold their breath for about 6 hours at a time. It's a very, very long time. When it's cold like this, they can actually slow their heart rate down to about a beat a minute. So I do have one more trick to show you guys. Before I do it, I want to tell you a little bit about myself so you don't think I'm some crazy redneck. You might still, but I've been working with large predators since I was 18 years old. I had worked with lions and tigers and venomous snakes. Now I work with alligators. My mom keeps wondering what she did wrong. I've been doing this for a while, so I do make it look easy, but you have to remember that these guys are very dangerous. One of our friends was doing a show, and he's been doing it a lot longer than me, and the alligator actually bit his bicep and ripped it out and ate it in front of the audience. He has no bicep, and he almost died from blood loss. So please do not ever try this at home, and remember that these are very dangerous animals. On that super happy note, I'm going to do this last trick. So this is called the face-off. If I mess it up, the face comes off. So have your cameras ready. Alright, there's no purpose behind this trick other than for you guys to get a picture. Come on, target. If anything falls in the mouth, including the sand that's on my hand, she will close her mouth. Her jaws are very sensitive. She's gonna go plop in the sun somewhere. Did you guys enjoy the show and have a good time? Yeah. Yay! And thank you guys for coming. What we are gonna do for you now is we are gonna take out our baby gator Thor. If you guys want to